Hello world, this is Audrey Scott Henson. I am a descendant of Norman Wicks, who was married to Golden Wicks' daughter, Doris Scott and Elwood Scott. I am the third oldest of the 8 children. For those of you that don't know, my older sister did pass away 2 years ago. Many of you guys might remember Elaine. So if you didn't know, just know now, and her oldest son is here with me. I currently am living in Odessa. I've worked with Delaware State University and done a lot of great things. God is good, He's blessed me, done a lot of fantastic things in my life. I have nothing to want for, and I think that that's because I came from such a strong line of blood in the Wicks family. I want to introduce my sister, Rena Scott. Rena lives in Texas. Rena, come on and say what you got to tell the world. Come on, come on. Come on, Rena. Come on. Come on. Hey! Rena, they want you on the thing.
You want me serious? Yeah. I'm going to be serious.
Have a seat in the chair. Don't trip. Okay, there you go.
What do you do with this?
Tell us who you are.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
So I'll go 1, 2, 3.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my name is Rena Scott. I am actually from Chestertown, Maryland, a little small town called Georgetown. I am under the umbrella of Goldie Wicks, who married Norman Wicks, who is my mother's father. And
who's your mother?
My mother's name is Doris Scott, and her mother's name is Elizabeth Wicks, which we call her Mama Goldie. So her name is Elizabeth Wicks. And I left from here and straight out of high school and went in the United States Army. So I am currently still there in Texas. And I've always known, and Karen have always known, we went to school together, that we were related, but we never knew how to connect the links. So anyway, she invited me out today. Today's my birthday. Hey. And she actually wanted to try and get the family tree together. So I do have a picture of my mother's father, whose name is Norman Wicks. And Norman Wicks and my grandmother, Mama Goldie, they had 4 children, which was my mother, Doris Scott, and Everett Wicks, who lives in Baltimore, Maryland. He passed away last year. And then there was Uncle Norman. He was named after his father, Norman Wicks. And then there was Doris Hill, who was also her 2 girls.
And that wasn't Norman's daughter.
Oh, but still, they were the sisters. They were, you know. But anyway, is there anything else you would like to know?
Yes, absolutely. Where is Uncle Norman? Do you know where he's buried at?
Uncle Norman is buried
I'm sorry, not Uncle Norman. Your grandfather, Norman.
My grandfather.
Church in Georgetown.
In Georgetown. So is he buried near Aunt Goldie's?
Yeah.
Because there's a Norman Jr., right? That's buried there too. So both Normans are there?
You know what?
I'm not sure about his. I'm not sure.
I went to the grave site. I only saw the one Norman there.
Right. That's
I think that's the son.
That's Mama Goldie's son. Yes. I'm not sure. I can ask Mom.
Buried maybe in the because the Wicks have another plot off of back near Sandy Bottom.
Could be.
Could be.
Church there.
That's where,
Well, I do know
Come back up.
that's where.
Say that again.
no, I said Sandy. Norman Wicks could have been buried in Sandy Bottom because that's where Boo lived, and she was his sister. No. It was cousin Sing,
Nancy,
Mildred, who they called Ed,
and Nancy.
and Nancy was good.
So Mildred was a Wicks?
Who?
Mildred was a Wicks? You said Mildred?
Her maiden name, yes.
Mildred Wicks?
Yes.
All of them. Which you
All
have.
of them were sisters.
When was she born around?
Oh God.
And just like Mama?
Around Mama's age.
1930s.
1930s. Yeah.
And her children are Winky.
George Lomax.
George
Lomax, who passed away at a very young age. And George Lomax. That's the Lomaxes.
Are they relationship to the, Monica Lomax?
Yes, it's all the same group. Yes.
Same family?
Yes.
Well, that's what my dad did say we was related to them. They never explained how.
Right.
Through Uncle Norman.
Right.
Or your grandfather.
Right. And then the other sister, what was her name? Because they had the nicknames, right? But then they had the other sister, Audrey, remember?
Keep talking.
And the other sister was the one that had Winky and Bernard.
Yes, that's Cousin Sing.
Okay.
Cousin Sing, Eddie, Bernard, and Linwood, and Margaret Ann.
Okay.
Cassie's children.
And then there was the other one, and those were the Floyds, weren't they?
No. Yeah.
The Floyds.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, because see, there were 3 sisters also.
Okay.
We used to call them Sing It Boo. Sing It and Boo. That was their nicknames.
Okay.
Which was what?
Cousin Sing's name was Cassie.
Cassie, okay.
Its name was Mildred, and Boo's name was
Nancy. Right.
Yeah.
And so the other one, I think Nancy's kids, they were the Floyds. Frederica Floyd.
I'm not going to go on people I'm not real sure.
Yeah.
You ready?
I can't remember all of the names.
But Norman Wicks had Norman Jr. had 5 children: Shirley, Bob, Everett, and Norman, and Eric. Those were Norman Wicks Jr.'s children. They are all in Baltimore, Maryland at this time. And Dorothy Hill never had any children, so she didn't have any children at all. And Everett Wicks had 2 sons and a daughter. The daughter's name was Cynthia Wicks. The son was Tony Wicks and Jr., Everett Wicks Jr.
And then
there was another Everett Wicks III. So those were his 4 children.
They all live in Baltimore.
All of them are in Baltimore. And my mother had 8. So Norman Wicks had 5, 10,
8 girls.
3, 8, 15. Norman Wicks had 15 grandchildren. And we won't even try to do the great-grand. Yeah.
The family just gets large. And so now you're at Delaware State College, Delaware State University. How long?
I graduated from Delaware State College I went in 1973, graduated in 1977. I was crowned Miss Delaware State College in 1976. In my personal life, I just went on to become an entrepreneur. So I am a very successful, I am humbled to say God is good. I'm a very successful entrepreneur. I have $1 million businesses that I have started. I have contracts with the city of Wilmington. I have contracts with the state of Delaware. I'm the director for the Center for Business Growth at the Delaware Financial Literacy Institute. And my joy is helping people start businesses. That's what I do. That's what I love. I got the #1 award in the state of Delaware.
Satisfied.
Business Champion of the Year for the state of Delaware. I did get that, but God is good. And my passion is moving African American people to sustainability through economic development, learning to own your own. As a result, you're free to own yourself.
Okay, is it my turn now?
This is our cousin.
Is it my turn now? So is it my turn now?
Cousin's name.
Audrey.
Scott.
The Wicks family.
Okay, all right.
We're Wicks. We're Norman Wicks line.
Okay.
Norman Wicks grandchildren.
I would love
Okay. Yes.
SB something.
Small Business Association.
SBA is the national umbrella of all businesses. Trump, the federal government, puts money into every state through SBA, billions and billions of dollars go into every state. And what has to happen is that money is back. They back the banks. Like if you want to start a business and you can't get a bank loan, then you would work with me. I would help you to develop your business. And then I would go to SBA and tell them that you are bankable. So we would fund your business, be it $250,000, $40,000, $1.3 million, whatever, we would back it. And if you fell short on the loan, we would pay the loan. And that's a national, they do that in every state in the United States. They allocate that money.
Okay, now.
And they nominated me as the small business champion for the state of Delaware in 2016. I just love what I do. We all are on a mission. And I just answered my call. You know, that's what God wants me to do.
Contact
302-373-6443. My business is A. Scott Enterprises.
A. Scott Enterprises.
A. Scott Enterprises.
Now you live here?
I live in Odessa.
Odessa.
Oh, okay.
Close by.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, my turn.
Destiny.
How are you?
Okay.
We wasn't looking for that, but thank you for that.
That's all right. It's all good. It's all good. To God be the glory. I don't take no credit. I just try to be obedient to the Spirit.
I went to Delph State, and so did Bonnie, the one that was just here.
Did you? Oh, and I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Okay, go ahead, Cuz.
Okay, I can't beat that. Look, don't talk me to death. Okay, so as I was saying, after I graduated from high school, I went into the United States Army, and I served in the Army in the buddy system. My sister and I, we went in together on the buddy system. She did 20 years, I did 3. I stayed in Texas. And I actually went to school, so I have a degree in nursing as an LVN. And then I continued to work while I was in school. So I was working for the Department of Defense, and I have 38 years experience on aircraft engines. So I build airplanes and build engines and supervise 200 employees. And then I became a manager and with the Directorate of Propulsion Jet Engines Division. Then they closed down Kelly Air Force Base. And so I continued to go to school, and I graduated from University, Colorado Technical University with my master's in business with my secondary degree in healthcare management. Those are my 2 passions. I enjoy building airplanes, and because it deals with people's lives, as well as healthcare, because that also deals with people's lives. So in the midst of all of that, I have 2 children, 2 boys. My oldest son is currently in the United States Navy. He's stationed at Norfolk, Virginia. He's married, and I have 2 granddaughters, 17, getting ready to go to Baylor University. And he didn't even know, nor did I know, that I have cousins right there in Chesapeake, Virginia. So Karen, when she was in Chesapeake visiting her daughter, she made sure that they met so that they could know each other. My other son, he is living in San Antonio, Texas, just had a newborn baby, so this is my 3rd grandchild. She's 3 months old. Her name is Kashaya Dashe Webb. Kashaya Dashe Webb, 3 months old. And he actually has a barbershop that he does hair. So if y'all come to San Antonio, Texas, you need a haircut, he'll hook you up. Okay.
So where are you at in Texas?
I'm in San Antonio, Texas. I've been there since 1974.
I might need you to build me a jet. I'm telling you, I do a lot of things. I like to travel international, but I would love to travel at my own.
At your own. I know that's right. I know that's right. Well, I won't be able to build the whole jet, but I can build your engine.
Okay.
So,
anything else you want to say? Any closing thoughts?
well, I do want to have closing thoughts. I flew in yesterday from San Antonio. I've been talking to Karen for about the last 2 or 3 months. I'm excited that she invited me. Sorry that all of my sisters can't be here because it's 8 of us. Elaine, which is the oldest, she passed away about 1.5 years ago. And then there's Rosalie and a lot of my cousins here that are Cottons. They all went to school together. And then there's Audrey, the one that just spoke. Then there's Vanessa. She lives in Wilmington, Delaware. And then there's me, Vanessa. And then I'm in.
What's her? Is she married?
No.
So she's still Wicks?
No, we're all Scots. And then there's Vanessa, and then me, and then there's Deborah. She lives in Georgetown, right, a couple doors from Mom.
Charlie Scott.
Charlie Scott? I don't know Charlie Scott.
What's his father's name? Aretha Scott, his father. Charles Scott from Georgetown.
Charlie Scott?
In Rock Hall, I think. The same thing, Rock Hall, Georgetown. Not that you know of. Marvin Scott?
Marvin Scott is my first cousin.
Okay.
Marvin Scott's father is named Johnson, Uncle Johnson. Uncle Johnson is my daddy's brother. So Marvin and I, we're first cousins.
Wow. This family just growing and growing. Now I know why my dad was saying, that's your cousin. That's your cousin. Because this family is just like so big.
Right, it is.
The more we do the tree, like I found out that my great-grandfather, Charles Wicks, father was Sherman Wicks. Everybody, a lot of people didn't know that, but you know how I found that out?
You can go through the Cices, huh?
From his death certificate.
Oh, okay.
His father, Sherman, and his mother named Addie Wicks.
Addie Wicks?
She was a Hodges.
You in Delaware, man.
Okay. Can I have a copy of that you had?
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you my phone number. You can text me.
Okay.
You do email, or you do what do you do? Email?
I do email.
Okay.
Yeah.
However you want to communicate, and I can share with you what I have.
Okay.
I've been putting together a family tree.
Right, and that's what Karen was telling me that she was trying to do.
Hey, niece. Hey. This is my goddaughter too.
Okay, hi.
I've been doing. I go to sites, take pictures on the brig sites, connect them so that anybody, the family member, can go online and look at where the body was at.
Right.
Want to visit the grave site, stuff like that.
And you can also find out some information, and I'm saying all this because we have another family tree that we've done on the Facebook where you can just block out for your family, right? And
so you on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook, but I don't get on Facebook. And when I say that, I'm like the regular Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on that. But if I wanted to know anything about the Scott side of family, I could go in there because it's there. It's available, and you can put your own information in there. Like I just had a new grandbaby, so I would add her in there under my son. You see what I'm saying?
Give me your information since I got the recording going. Give me your information, your phone number, any other kind.
Okay, my phone number is 210-835-5291. My email address is Champagne, Champaigne02@gmail.com. And then for those of you all, also I need to add this, that have children that need any kind of life insurance, you can give me a call because I do life insurance policies. We have young folks dying every day, drive-by shootings and all that mess. So anybody that needs any type of life insurance, I am an agent for that. I also wanted to mention that my mother's father, Norman Wicks, she told me last night that he was a Mason. So that may lead others to where maybe they could find their graves and stuff like that. Because she said he was a Mason. Yeah, which I didn't know that.
The grandfather, Norman Wicks?
My Charlie's brother. Yeah, they were Masons, or at least he was a Mason. Yeah. And my mom, she really wanted to come, but she wasn't feeling too good today. Mom's 83, 84, somewhere around there, in Georgetown.
I was up there, so you know Mr. Sampson?
Nolan Sampson? Yeah, they are my cousins also through marriage.
Right. Because he was going to take me up to see her, because I was.
Okay, yeah.
I think she was. Yeah, he said she was sick.
Yes, his father's Freddie Sampson. Yes, and Freddie married my first cousin Andy. Yeah, and Andy is her mother's name is Aunt Lou, well, Louise Hopkins. So we connected to the Rock Hall crew, some of that Hopkins. And Louise Hopkins, yes.
What was her maiden name?
What was Aunt Lou's maiden name? Scott. Before she got married, Scott. She was a Scott.
She was Louise Scott?
Yeah.
Mildred.
So when you said Marvin Scott, so that that would be his Uncle Johnson. Their other siblings was my dad, Marvin Scott's dad, Uncle Johnson, and Aunt Lou. And Aunt Lou is the one that had Andy, and Andy married Freddie Sampson, and that's how Larry Sampson and Mark Sampson and all of us.
This family's just like get bigger and bigger.
Right, and it does, and you'd be surprised, and that's what I was going to say. You can find a lot of information. If you dig through the census, you can pull up the census, and it'll tell you about certain ones, where they came from, and like if they ever purchased land, you'll be able to see that. They'll tell you, it tells you a little bit about that person.
So Goldie was a Scot?
Mama Goldie? Mama Goldie married into the Wicks family.
Right. What was her maiden name?
No, she wasn't a Scot. What was Mama Goldie's maiden name? I don't know. Henry.
She was a Henry?
She was a Henry. And yes, and Karen got to talking about that, and I said, now you're on the back road, because she mentioned Linda Briscoe with she said, you know, the one that got the 2 long flats. I said, yeah, she's my cousin. But they Henrys.
Oh, you still got it? That's all right.
And I guarantee you they connected too some kind of way.
Yeah, because I saw Henry on one of the maternal sides.
Uh-huh.
Let me see. I don't know if I printed it out here or not. No, I don't have it.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what I do have. I'll tell you that the Hodges. Because Sherman Wicks' wife's name was Addie Hodges. Her father was Thomas Hodges.
Okay.
He was a World War I veteran. I think he was a Freemason.
Okay.
Hodges, he had a son named Robert Hodges.
Okay.
Robert, you can look at that, see
so Karen was asking me about a Tom in Rock Hall. Yeah, somebody named Tom.
Thomas Johnson.
He was saying that they were the last of the Wickses. She said my mama and some guy named Tom were the last 2 of the Wickses.
In Rock Hall?
Period. As far as that generation.
From Sherman?
Yeah, from that generation.
Is he still living?
Who? This guy, Tom? I don't know who he is. She was asking me if I knew him. And I said, I don't know. But she was asking me about him, and she was asking me about some Joneses. And I said, yeah. I said, but Arthur Jones, I'm gonna have to ask Karen. I said, yeah. I said, Arthur Jones. I said, but he They my cousins, but
Where the Joneses from?
I don't know if I'm not mistaken, because their mother, which was my cousin Florence Jones, but she married into the family. But his name was Arthur Jones. But I don't know why.
Arthur Jones in my search, but because on my father's side, my great grandmother's name was Mary Jones. That's all
probably.
That's all I know. I mean, I don't
And
know
see, they all connect some kind of way.
I don't know where she came from. Everybody I ask about, they don't.
They
She was born
connect.
like 1875, somewhere around.
We've done research in you know Thomas Brown.
Thomas Brown.
Right. Okay. His.
Is that senior, Thomas Brown Senior, live in Georgetown?
Well.
His son named Thomas Brown Jr., they call him Bummer. It's a different Thomas Brown, okay.
You know Eric McGowan.
McGowan?
Eric.
You know him?
Is it Eric? Facebook, yep.
Okay. Okay. My mom and dad had 8 girls, but I have half brothers and sisters as well. Eric is my half brother. It's Thomas and Kevin Scott. They ride a motorcycle, and then one works for the state. I can't remember all of the name. And then and one girl. I'm from Texas, you know, and I can't. Shelly. Yes, those are my brothers and sister. One girl.
Yeah.
And yes. And so anyway, Thomas.
Shelley Brown?
I don't know. I don't even know. Right.
They your cousins?
They're my half brothers and sisters.
So they relate to me?
Not unless you are a Scott or you are
Okay, so they relate
from
to the Scott side.
right. But what I was,
Kevin does use the name Scott, just
yeah, he,
and just Shelley and
the other one used Dorsey, right,
yeah. They look like Scott's.
right. I mean, and the oldest one looked just like Daddy, and the younger one, he looks like. You could tell he's in the family. You can tell because the first time I had seen him, I asked my other half brother. I said, Eric, who's that dude over there looking like us? Had the high cheekbones and had that Cooper in him. He said, Rena, you don't know him? I said, He took me over there and introduced me, and he said, this is your brother. But see, like, because I had went in the military straight out of high school, so I didn't know hardly anybody. Like I was telling Karen, I ain't never been here. I was born and raised in Chestertown, but as soon as I graduated from the 12th grade, I was gone. But yeah, but what I was gonna tell you was that to find that history like you were talking about, especially back in the 1800s, you can look up the name or look up the years and pull up the census. When you pull up the census, it'll direct you to a year, then the names, and you'd be surprised. And I guarantee you'll probably find Sherman in there. I bet, because that's how Thomas found a lot of his people back in the 1800s, and we started connecting them, and it made sense when we connected it. We said, oh, this makes sense now. So when Karen was asking me about the Joneses, I bet you they hooked up there into the 1800s, because Arthur Jones's real name, if I'm not mistaken, you know, back in those days, sometimes they gave them their mother's name versus the daddy's name. All kind of stuff went on. So, okay. So, so you have one more question? Huh? In closing, I would like to say, God bless, love one another, take care of each other, stay connected, and thank all of you, my loved ones, Wickses, and the Fords, and the Cottons, and the Johnsons. By the way, where's Gregory Johnson at? I ain't seen my cousin in a while. Where's he at? He ain't come. He left.
You know he leaving?
Uh-uh.
I'm gonna cut this off.
Okay.